Duggar News. Fans proud of Jinger for breaking this family tradition. Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo have led a wonderful life. The former began garnering attention when she became an author after her reality TV star status. She has penned down her experience of growing up with her 18 siblings. It has also contained some shocking truths about the family that they had tried to hide. It cost Jinger her bond with her parents, but she's trying to mend it. After marrying Jeremy, Jinger came to terms with a lot of toxic teachings she practiced in her followers. After all, Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar have been devout IBLP followers. Owing to this, they instilled strict rules and regulations on their kids. Well, after Jinger has come out of this, she made a post which made fans realize she broke a family tradition. Which one? Duggar News. Jinger credits her husband Jeremy for helping her realign her faith. Jinger had trouble recognizing the toxicity associated with IBLP. While growing up, she and her sisters were conditioned to be submissive and homemakers. Well, once she tied the knot with husband Jeremy Vuolo, he helped her out. He beautifully pushed her to realize that she shouldn't just cater to her husband's needs, and that her opinions and feelings are equally important. In fact, Jeremy had gone to one podcast where she began talking about IBLP teachings. He even called Jim Bob's lifestyle devilish, as he believed people use religion to make people fearful. As in, the Almighty will only be happy once people follow a certain set of rules. He was against this and believed love is at the heart of every law God has for the people. Duggar News. Fans glad Jinger has broken this family tradition. As Duggar News viewers got to see 19 kids and counting, they got familiar with many things that the Duggars did differently. One of them was a buddy system where every adult sibling had to take care of their younger siblings. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar did so to get some responsibility for their plate. Apart from this, homeschooling was also common for them. It turns out, Duggars believed in homeschooling because it allowed them to impart their religious values directly to their children, ensuring that their education aligned with their faith. This approach provided them with greater control over the curriculum and the environment in which their children were educated. Moreover, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar relied on BLP's homeschooling resources, which reinforced their commitment to a faith-based education. But it looks like Jinger doesn't want to abide by this when it comes to her kids. She put up a story where they saw their eldest daughter, Felicity, in a uniform of some sort. Someone said how they had put her in a Christian private school. Counting on alum, Jessa Duggar-Seewald is back with new updates about her baby boy, George. The 32-year-old has been on and off social media amid her busy life as a mother to 5 children. She occasionally returns online to share vlogs and other news about her family. But what caught the attention of many was Jessa's latest clip featuring George's first haircut. Keep reading to see the adorable video. Counting on, what is Jessa Duggar up to today? It's been 7 months since Jessa last uploaded a YouTube vlog. Her last video was about Fern's birthday week, where she surprised her daughter with presents for a week until her big day. But despite her YouTube absence, Jessa remained in touch with the fans on social media. She likes to share clips from her daily life as a mom. She's still caring for her indoor plants, which has been her longtime hobby. Jessa also likes to upload videos of her kids' adorable interactions. Last month, the Counting On alum shared an adorable throwback photo of her daughters dressed up as a shepherd and Mary for Christmas. Jessa shares baby George's first haircut. Jessa Duggar-Seewald recently took to Instagram to share an adorable clip of George's first haircut. The Counting On alum captioned the clip, "I swear that first haircut always ages them by half a year." The video shows George looking so happy with his fresh haircut. His blonde hair color has also become brighter, which shows his blue eyes even more. Many fans were also left in awe by how cute George was. Several commenters also mentioned that George is starting to look more like his brother, Henry, while others think he resembles his father. Over the years, Duggar News followers have been seeing the infamous family in a new light. While they detest Josh Duggar for his heinous crimes, they have a soft corner for the sisters who had a tough childhood because of it. Many of them, like Joanna and Jinger, have also spoken up about it, unlike the rest of the family members who mostly stay mum. While Joanna and Jinger have strained bonds with their parents Jim, Bob, and Michelle due to it, they are very close to one another. Well, despite the closeness, they tend to have some misunderstandings and differences from time to time. They address something similar in a brand new episode of their new podcast. What do they talk about? While Joanna and Jinger have strained bonds with their parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle due to it, they are very close to one another. Well, despite the closeness, they tend to have some misunderstandings and differences from time to time. They address something similar in a brand new episode of their new podcast. What do they talk about? Out of all the Duggar News siblings who live in Arkansas, Jinger and her husband Jeremy with their kids in Los Angeles. Hence, it's hard for her to make it to most special events because she is far away from her family. However, Joanna has been visiting her sister in Los Angeles these days. Together, they are perhaps awaiting Jinger's due date as it's her third pregnancy. Jinger also shared a sweet post talking about how fun it was to have her little sister Joanna in the city with her. Both of them smiled brightly in a selfie. Everyone was delighted to see Jinger have some support from her family. Joanna also became part of her siblings' podcast, The Jinger and Jeremy Show. In it, they talked out one. Duggar News. Did Joanna get upset at Jinger for giving her daughter the same nickname as her girl? The infamous Duggar family has a dark past. Despite this, Duggar News followers see them let bygones be bygones and move forward. Currently, Joanna has been in Los Angeles with her sister Jinger. Together, they came to the podcast to talk about many things. One of them was a controversial topic. It turns out Jinger gave their daughter the same nickname as Joanna's daughters. It turns out that both the sisters gave birth to their daughters, Evelyn and Evangeline, 6 months apart. While Joanna had already had Evelyn, Jinger was pregnant with Evangeline. Before announcing the name to the family, Jinger made an effort to ask her little sister if it would be okay if their daughters shared the same nickname, Evie. She also wanted to ensure Joanna's husband, Austin, doesn't have an issue with it. Well, everyone expected the sisters to feud over this. Luckily, no such thing happened. Joanna was quite delighted and also grateful how Jinger told her and Austin the name of their daughter to be first. It was a wholesome moment for both the sisters and only brought them together. Jinger addressed how she had faced judgment with baby names before. Hence, she now finds it fitting for the little ones to come into the world first before telling everyone the name they have chosen for them. Keep an eye on. Counting on alum Jinger Duggar recently made headlines after uploading a podcast episode with her sister, Joanna. The two talked about their childhood and all the difficulties they've had following the questionable teachings of the IBLP. The two have stepped away from their past beliefs. They agree on so many things regarding exposing IBLP's wrongdoings. However, one topic that surprised many was Jinger and Joanna addressed the drama between them. Keep reading to see what happened. Counting on, Jinger Duggar clarifies alleged anger with parents. One of the things Jinger talked about in her podcast episode with Joanna was her anger with her parents for raising them under the IBLP's rules. According to the Counting on alum, she was never angry at Jim, Bob, and Michelle for doing that. She also believes that her parents wanted nothing for them to be successful, which was promised to them by the IBLP. Jinger continued that she never had any grudges towards them. Instead, she was actually proud of what they were trying to do, as parents to 19 children. Joy-Anna confessed, "We've had 2 people in the last week be like, oh, there's 2 Evies, because especially when we're together, we get asked." Jinger chimed in and said that her sister kept her daughter's name until she gave birth. When Joy-Anna revealed her daughter's name to the family, Jinger revealed that she and Jeremy looked at each other and said, "Oh my goodness." However, Joy-Anna said they never cared about Evelyn having the same nickname as Evangeline. The Counting on Alum continued, "We did not care at all, but I do remember y'all calling me, and I was like, that's so great. It's going to be confusing, but it's going to be awesome." Counting on, Joy-Anna Duggar shares awkward time with Austin Forsyth. Aside from the nickname incident, Joy-Anna Duggar Forsyth also opened up about her awkward moment with Austin when they were still not courting. According to the Counting on Alum, they already knew they liked each other back then. But she was surprised when Austin visited their house one day, and she was so nervous. The Counting on star has become quite the author, sharing her story of how she untangled what she was taught to believe while growing up in the IBLP Institute in Basic Life Principles, and reconciled what was truly said in the Bible. Her recent stop was on The Deep End with Lecrae, where she talked about growing up in the Duggar family and her walk with Jesus. With over 30 Duggar grandchildren so far, it would be more surprising if there wasn't an overlap in names or nicknames somewhere in the family tree. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to Jinger and Joy-Anna Duggar when they each welcomed their second child, both girls, right around the same time. Now the sisters admit that there was a bit of drama over the situation, and it seems like it would have been at least a little awkward for them to handle. "We've had 2 people in the last week be like, oh, there's 2 Evies, because especially when we're together, we get asked," Joy said on the Jinger and Jeremy podcast. Neither sister knew the other was planning to use that nickname for her daughter, because they didn't share the names they'd chosen for their babies until after they were born. The coincidence came as a surprise